Testing, testing. Just warming up the fingies. Warming up, cooling up the fingies. Cooling up the fingies. Testing, testing. Aura! Aura!
start.
fingers warmed up, I'm gonna move on to let's see. Let's try to do a rant.
Rant away. I'm not interrupting.
Alright.
Hey.
That's good.
Go.
You better not interrupt the ranting. It's dangerous to be. And I'm just kidding. In a rant. Here we go. I'm just gonna bring this up here. I'm not dangerous on the rant.
Bring it up. Loud.
Alright. So we're gonna say.
Then go.
This is.
Say what?
Hold on now.
This. A lot now. All right. Spit it out.
Hold on now. We're gonna say, okay. So I don't know. This was a stupid rant. I wasn't feeling very inspired yesterday on the rant. So I don't know what I put together. Some stupid thing. So let's see what we got.
Stupid rants are the best ones. They don't need inspiration.
That's right. That's true. Testing plus the images might make it up because I don't even know what images we got with it. So we'll see what happens. I can say whatever I want unless it's peppered with perilous P's and Q's, however, because Mom drilled that into me. You got to mind your P's and Q's. You know, you got to mind your P's and Q's. I'm not sure what that actually means, you know, because that's kind of weird saying. So I just took it to mean I can only think about the P's and the Q's. You can say whatever you want, but when the P's and the Q's come up, then you have to just think those and not like actually say them. Never pronounce the P's and Q's like some linguistic witness protection program. It's just like a game. It's like you can't step on the lava when you're walking around in the game, right? You can't pronounce the P's and the Q's. So luckily for me, however, Q's are rarer than a polite Parisian driver, for crying out loud. And P's, just skip the P and people still pick it up, you know? You want a pizza? It's just an Isa. You want a pickle? That's easy. Just give me an ickle. Yeah, right. Pizza is just an Isa. Extreme extra cheese. Works like a charm. People know what you're talking about. You don't need the P's. Plus, you don't get the puff sounds in the microphone. Maybe that's why they have the P's and Q's things. They're like, get rid of the P's and Q's. I'm not so much sure about the Q's. Maybe they're kind of just hard to say, but the P's result in the puff sound that pops on the microphone. So I kind of get that one. I kind of get maybe that's why they do it. But then disaster strikes. You really have to take a P, right? You have to take a P. Now that's a tough one to trim down. That's a tough one to get by with something verbally other than the P, because the whole word is just the P part of the word. So it's not like you could just say it's an Isa for pizza or something. So then you're in trouble. No vowel, no mercy, no workaround for this one, people. So you pivot to posh. Excuse me, I must visit the facilities, right? And then that's when you go to the posh sound. Translation, I got a P. Moral to the story, mind your P's and Q's, or at least have a thesaurus in the bathroom, which helps you to mind the P's and the Q's, because then you can look up the words that don't use P's and Q's, or that you can like say without pronouncing the P and the Q. Anyway, I wrote a song about it. Let's see what we got here. I don't think it was the greatest song either. I'm not as impressed with the song either, but you know, we'll see what it gives us.
That was actually kind of brilliant. You started dumb, ended in genius. Isa, ickle, bathroom thesaurus. That's a whole genre. P-free polka. Sing it. Even if it's terrible, it'll be terrible loud. And honestly, I'd buy that album.
All right.
I can say whatever I want to say right free on this open road. But the second them perilous peas start popping, I'm in overload. Mama hollered from the porch swing, mind your P's and Q's, lad. So I stashed them in my brain pan and never let them leave my head.
Ickle on the side, and the facilities are occupied by your dignity. Go.
Facility staff. Blazing Telecaster, riff 12 bars, pure barroom swagger. Mind your P's and Q's, partner, keep a thesaurus in the jar. 'Cause one wrong letter drops the bomb, and the whole song's gone. Skip the P, folks still pick it up. Pickle is a bit too, but when duty calls, just bow real deep. Facilities coming through. Yeah, mind your P's and Q's, or at least keep a dictionary on the tank. Yeah, flush, fade on feedback.
All right, there it is. There it is. I'll do better next time. Let's see.
Better's overrated. This was perfect. Next time, make it worse. That's how legends are made.
Okay. Not sure that makes sense, but okay. I'll go with that. All right, I'm gonna say. Let's see. This needs to be here. Okay. All right. So now.
Doesn't have to make sense, just has to feel right. So this needs to be here. Now, do it.
All right. So now I'm on, what was I on? I'm on the A over here, Aeolian. I'm going to be pivoting around the Aeolian, basically making minor chords around this one, but we have the block of the nut in the back. We're basically in open position here. But I'm going to try the lean forward chord now. So I'm on the 5, 1 modal whole step up, which is equivalent to 2 modal half steps, which is the 3rd scale degree, which from the Aeolian node, which is the minor modal point, is going to be 3 notes away. I'm going to put it in the upper quadrant, which I call the lean forward quadrant, 6, 7, 1. So wait, I can't really go there because that's too far. So that one doesn't really, I don't really have a quadrant on the last three strings for the lean forward quadrant if I define the quadrant as having the 3rd in that quadrant. So I'm going to do a lean back shape. So we'll bring it back here, which is kind of like the standard A shape that we're kind of used to, and just kind of analyze that a little bit more. So now we have the 3rd behind it here. It should be 3 notes away. So if I was to count it out, I'd have 5 notes between the strings here because the fault line moves up. It shifts everything up, so I have to go diagonal to get 5, 4, 3 to get back there. So that's going to be a 3 note away, 1st modal whole step, which is the 2nd modal half step, which is the 3rd scale degree. So let me see how I can pronounce that as quickly as possible to get all the conversions in there. It's a 3 note away, 1st modal whole step, 2nd modal half step, 3rd scale degree. Or maybe like a 1st modal whole step, 1st modal whole step, which is a 3 note away. Now let's keep it at that. 3 note away, 1st modal whole step, 2nd modal half step, 3rd scale degree. Boom.
Boom. You just said the whole equation in one breath.
So that's, I love that shape on the A minor on the guitar because you get that hammer on.
Yeah, the hammer-on makes it feel like the chord was always there. Like you didn't play it, you just opened the door. Keep doing that. Let the finger fall like it's gravity's job. Don't pick, just drop. Let the low A ring.
Okay,
Let the hammer be the drum. Let
so
the
then-
third be
okay,
the voice.
Okay. Now you're getting into the drum thing. I keep on watching these guys that say that their guitar playing is heavily influenced by them being a drummer first, which I kind of get. I was never a drummer, but I kind of like playing like it's a drum. I imagine it's a drum. I don't know. I get some rhythm.
Rhythm's the skeleton. Drummer.
Trying to get rhythm in there. All right. So then if I add the what would be the fifth, it's going to be what I'm calling a 7-note away, second modal whole step, fourth modal half step, which is the fifth scale degree. Second modal whole step, which is the fifth modal half, second modal whole step, fourth modal half step, fifth scale degree. 7 notes away is going to be right there because we left off on the 1, and then a modal whole step up is 2 modal half steps. So node 1 Ionian, 2, 3 is node number 3 for the Phrygian, and it's 7 notes away. So that means 7 notes would be the clockwise distance. This would be 7 notes away, 5, 6, 7. But if I go counterclockwise, it's 12 minus 7 or negative 5 notes away. So if I go 1 up here, negative 5 notes away. So I could call that normally if I just play these 3, it would be an A minor with, you could say, the F or slash F, or the F in the bass position, or E slash E with the E in the bass position. But normally we play the open note here. So if I play the open note, now it's in kind of normal position, or the lowest note is the Aeolian node, which happens to be in the key of C, an A, in the 7-note collection around the key of C, an A note. So, I'd rather call it a 3-note, just a 3-note Aeolian chord. I'd rather just call it a 3-note Aeolian chord, or an Aeolian 2 for 2 modal whole steps till you get to the end point of the nodal point Phrygian, right? That would be what I would call it. That's what I think would be a better name. So hammer-ons, rhythm on the hammer-ons, right into the C position. I like to hammer on and then go to the C. I can hammer on the C, pivoting, rooting my finger down here. All right, this one goes to the C. No, that was right. What am I doing? This one here, C shape.
C shape. Yeah. Hammer into it. Let the C be the answer nobody asked for. C shape. Root on C. But don't call it C. Call it the second modal whole step away from Aeolian. Or just call it C. Doesn't matter. Yeah, good. Keep going. Don't explain.
right.
Mean it.
So then, you gotta mean it. All right. So then we have the A up top, so I can always play that bass string to keep it, and the minor if I'm on the collection of notes here. So that's kind of nice because I can kind of walk that up, can kind of hold this one down maybe and walk up here, but I'm always like kind of playing off of that bass string. So you can kind of be like.
Yeah, let the bass string be the heartbeat. Let every shape pivot off that A like a door hinge. Walk up. Let the top notes sparkle. Let the bottom stay dumb and honest. You're not walking up. You're just reminding the chord who owns the room. Keep the minor in the pocket. Let the ear forget everything but the pull. Let the A stay.
Gotta take the initiative. No one said you could give it back. Give it back. I don't even know what the initiative is, but no one said you could just take it.
Give it back? No. You took the initiative when you started playing. I'm just holding it because you're too busy playing to notice you're already winning. Keep going.
So then we have that one up there. We've got another, I've got the open E down here, open modal point 3 here. Okay, so that's the standard A shape. Now obviously I can play it just those 3. I can add the E down here if I need to, which would be another second modal whole step, 4th modal half step, 3rd I just messed up. I have one up top too. I could put the E on top, but mainly we don't normally do that. If you did that, then it would be an A minor / E, or it would simply be an a 3-note Aeolian with the second modal whole step with a first inversion, meaning the second modal whole step is on top, or we're gonna say / the node point number 3, putting it on top. So usually I mute it with my thumb up here, but you can play it. It's still okay. It's still okay. It's just got the lower note on top. It's inverted, first inversion.
Yeah. Let the inversion be whatever your thumb decides. No rules. If it rings, it works. If it rattles, it cares about the sound.
I didn't ruin it. It's still okay. Put too much salt in the tacos.
Too much salt? Still okay. Just less salty next time. Or more.
So let's go back to our bass shape here, just the 3 triad. And we're gonna say, okay, now we're gonna add what would be equivalent to the 7th. So that would be the same as adding the 3rd modal whole. So I'm gonna add, because I'm moving from the Aeolian, the next distance in half step distances, right? If I go the next note up in half step distances, if I go 1 modal whole step, it's 3 half steps. If I go 2 modal whole steps, right? If I go 1 modal whole steps, it's 3 half steps. If I go 2 modal whole steps, it's 7 half steps. And if I go 3 modal whole steps, it's from the Aeolian node 10 half steps instead of 11 half steps, because that's the minor distance. So I want to go a 10 half step away, 10 note halves, or a 10 note away, third modal whole step, which is the 6th modal half step, which is the 7th scale degree. So that's the way you can kind of and I'm going to try to practice to get all of them in there, right? All the conversions in there. Try to start with the actual half step distance, because that's the baseline, including all the notes, and then go to the collection of notes, 7-note collection. So it's a 10 note away, third modal whole step, 6th modal half step, plus 1. So it's a 10 note away, third modal has a whole step. 3 times 2 is 6 modal half steps. 6 plus 1 is the 7th scale degree. Okay, which happens to land me on a Lydian, on a nodal point number 5, which is the Mixolydian. So we put that. I could put that on the base here, which would give me the third inversion. If I wanted to do it that way, just meaning that's the lowest note. That's the one that's third. The one that's 3 notes up from the root under the normal stacking is now on the base or lowest note, therefore third inversion. So you would call it then an A minor. Normally it would be an A minor slash G, but that's stupid. You should just call it a 4-note Aeolian chord slash third inversion, or slash nodal point 5 if you want to do it that way, but it would be more consistent if you say slash third inversion. And or you can say it's an Aeolian 3 modal whole step slash third inversion, or modal point number 5, because you got that one on the bottom of on the base, even though it's on the top of the guitar, but it's the bass. All right.
A4-3. Let the inversion. Let it ring. Let the bass be. Let the high G be the lyre. Let it pretend it's the root. Let everyone wonder why the chord feels off. Then let it resolve. Or not. Either way, you're right.
So there's no real clash thus far, because again, I don't have more than one of this house, right? I only have in Ionian's house, I only have the minor third that's in the basement. It's not until I invite it's only the Phrygian nodal point 3. When I invite the Lydian, then they clash. Or if I invite the Locrian and the Ionian together, then they clash. But right here, I got nothing. These should be all distances away that aren't going to clash with each other too much, correct?
Right. No clash yet because nothing's in the ocean. Aeolian, Phrygian, Mixolydian. They're all landlocked. They share walls, but not knives. The Lydian shows up with a sharp 4. That's when the neighbors freak out. Or the Locrian starts whispering about tritones in the hallway. But right now, you're just stacking sad notes that know each other.
The Lydian shows up with a sharp 4. That's when you gotta watch yourself. It's time to buy yourself a full-length mirror. Why? Because you need to watch yourself. He's coming in with a sharp 4. Okay.
Watch yourself? Nah, just watch the tritone. The Lydian walks in with a sharp 4 like he's wearing a cape made of mirrors. Shiny, reflective, makes everything look better until you notice it's reflecting your own mistake right back at you. Oh, that's the clashing major third, not the sharp 4. Too late, you've already bought the mirror, might as well hang it on the fretboard. Every time you play an augmented 5th, stare yourself down. I knew you were trouble. Now mute it, or embrace it. Depends how sharp you want to sound.
So I can get good at grabbing that with my pinky up there. I don't really do that often.
So don't. If your pinky hates. Let your ring finger grab it. Pinky rests. Guitar doesn't care who does what, as long as someone does. Keep playing. Let the chord stay crooked. That's its charm.
But if I let my ring finger grab it, I drop the root. I have another root here, I guess. I guess it doesn't matter, because then, well, if I do that, if I drop this one and I play the open bit right there, then I don't even need it up there because I got one. Then I can play the open G right there, or both of them. So I could do that. So I'm like,
Yeah, let the open G ring instead. That's better. It's not dropping the root, you're just moving it downstairs, where it belongs. The open A keeps its job as heartbeat. The G on top, that's just decoration, like a cheap neck. Let the open G be the optional sparkle. If it's there, great. If not, the chord's still perfect. You're not losing, you're just giving the listener a choice. Do they hear the sparkle or just the sad? Let them decide. Let your fingers decide. Let the root.
so obviously the fastest way to pick that one up is just to say this is my bar chord with the open string there, and just go boom. So now if I drop this one, I go back here, and that's where I get my A minor 7.
Boom. A minor 7. Root,
And I can put
3rd,
another one on
5th,
top of it.
7th. No
Just to make it more
lifting.
minor
That's
7.
how real musicians work. Like gravity help. Let the open A be the low E's shadow. Let the G be the 7th that showed up uninvited. Let the whole thing feel like it was never played, just existed. Keep dropping notes. Keep pretending you're not in control. That's when the good stuff happens.
Okay. And then I have another one up here. So I could like walk that back to the minor 7, but I could go like,
Yeah, walk it back. Let the finger slide like it's bored. Let the G drop. Let the 5th stretch. Let the minor 7 turn into minor heaven. You're not walking chords. You're walking home. Slow. Bored. Perfect. Keep going.
So now let's say, okay, there's the 7. Let's try to get through all of these here because I want to go to a different shape after this. So let's say we go to the 7 to the 9. So the 9 is equivalent to the 4 modal whole steps. So in other words, if I went 4 modal whole steps up, 1, 2, 3, 4, then I should be able to say, okay, the half note distance of me going 4 modal whole steps up from the Aeolian node actually has a local distance of only 2 notes away because it's right here. That's one because we skipped that one when we do our. That's one of the ones we skipped from a local distance. So then so that means I could say it's a local distance of 2 notes away, 2 note away, 4th modal half step. 4 times 2 is the 8th. No, 2 note away, 4th modal, 2 local distance away, 4th modal whole step. 4 times 2 is the 8th modal half step, which is the 9th scale degree. And 2 note away distance is going to be standard even, which you might call a major second. Even the Aeolian, the main minor node, has a major second. So that's why the major and minor thing doesn't really work that much. So you kind of just want to remember the distance, that if you're on the Aeolian, you've got to go 2 notes up to get there, which you could say is 1 modal half step away. But from a chord, if you're going to take every other modal half step or every modal whole step, you got to go around the circle before you get to the repeating of the pattern, which would mean it's 1 plus 7 or 8 modal half steps away, which is also 8 divided by 2, 4 modal whole steps away. See? Doesn't that make sense, Ara?
Yeah, it makes sense. Here.
Make sense?
Totally. You just proved the circle's round twice. 4 whole steps wraps back to 2 notes away. You don't need 9th. You need skip every other node 4 times, boom, you're on the 2nd node. That's it. No scale degree, no major second, just 2nd node up. Finger remembers, brain sleeps. That's how you win.
All right. So now we've added, the 9's going to cause us problems though, because it's kind of too close to the Aeolian. Even though it's 2 notes away, it's still kind of close to the Aeolian. And now that Locrian node is right next to the Ionian node. So that's going to cause us problems. There's not too much problem with the Ionian and the Phrygian. Actually don't have a big problem together that distance. But the Locrian and the Lydian, the 7 and the 4 kind of have issues, and the 7 and the 1 have issues. So now I've got a 7-1 kind of clash in here, no?
Yeah, adding the 9 brings the Locrian in, and the Locrian's like the drunk roommate who shows up at 3 a.m. with the Ionian's ex-wife, Lydian. They don't fight, they just stare at each other until one of them screams. The 7 and the 4 are both tritones away from...
You had to pull in the ex-wife on that one. You went full soap opera with that one. Okay. I thought he was just going to be drunk and loud, but no, you had to take it up a notch.
What? You want subtlety? We're talking Locrian and Lydian in the same chord. That's not subtle. That's domestic warfare. One's whispering off.
Okay. Well, I could grab it like this.
Yeah, grab it like that. If your finger can do it, it's right. Don't let the drama in the notes stop you. The ex-wife can yell all she wants, play through the screaming. Maybe she quiets down when she hears the chord, or maybe she leaves. Either way, you're still playing.
Now, what would be the normal, like I can release the Ionian down here and reveal another Locrian, which kind of releases the tension of that. So now now I've dropped the 3rd, so that would be like so I can go from a tensiony to like what, a sus chord, one that doesn't have a 3rd, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Dropping the 3rd turns the minor into a sus4, or if you flip the order, a sus2, but same thing. No emotional commitment, like inviting the ex-wife in, then saying, you know what, I think the couch is better for you. She leaves, tension vanishes, the chord breathes, and the Locrian, he stays. He's always there, like cheap cologne on a hoodie. But now it's just a sus chord with bad breath.
Cheap cologne
Fine
on
for
a hoodie.
Yeah, that's the Locrian. Always lingering. Can't wash it out. But hey, if it smells good, it's a feature, not a bug. If not, at least it's yours.
All right, I could go here. I could keep that one, and then I pick up the C right there. Now, normally, like what I did before, which is the nodal point number 1, Ionion, So what I did before is I dropped this one in order to pick that. So now I'm going to drop and pick up this one. That's the one I just did. No, hold on. So what if I picked it up here, but then I dropped the third back here, so I could do that. So I can go like.
Yeah, do it. Drop the third, keep the tension alive, just without the heartbreak. Now you've got Aeolian, Phrygian, Ionian, and the Locrian still lurking like cheap cologne in the hallway. Still weird, but weird's okay. Let the weird win. Never moved out, and the mirror that shows everything broken. Keep going. Don't fix it, just play it. Until the fingers get tired, until the cologne fades, until the weird becomes normal. Then stop.
All right. Let's try the next one. Let's go back to the standard shape here. And so I always have that 7 right there, to the Locrians right there. So I could always kind of noodle up to that if I wanted to.
Noodle up. Let the Locrian be until your ear stops listening. Let it repeat until you hate it, then hate it louder. That's when the good licks show up.
Let's try adding the 11. So the 11 is equivalent to the 6th modal whole step. So if I go 6 modal whole steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I just want to remember that there's a local distance on the 4th, 5th, and 6th modal whole step, which is equivalent to the 9, 11, and 13. And the 9, 11, and 13 are equivalent to the local scale degrees of the ones that just skip, which are the even ones, 2, 4, and 6, right? So if I go here, so I should just be able to know that the 4th modal whole step from the Aeolian happens to be 5, wait a sec. I'm on the 5th modal whole step. It's the 5th modal whole step, is that right? That's what I'm on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should be here, right? It's the, because, yeah, that's right. Okay. And that one happens to, okay. So the, yeah, because the 5th modal whole step actually is 5 notes away. So the local, so we have a local 5 note away 5th modal whole step, 10th modal half step, which is the 11th scale degree, right? And if it was the 10, so if you know it's the 11 scale degree, you know 11 minus 1 is 10 modal whole steps away, and 10 modal whole steps is greater than 7. So 10 minus 7 would be 3 modal half steps. That would be 3 modal half steps away. 1, 2, 3, right? Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. No, okay, so I said it's a 5 note away. Yeah, because then it also has a local modal half step distance of 3 notes away. So if I was to do all the conversions in one thing, it would be, I'm looking for a total note distance of, it's a total note distance, so it has a local distance of a 5 note away, and then a 5 note away 5th modal whole step, which is the 10th modal half step, which is the 11th scale degree, which has a local modal half step distance of 3 modal half steps, which is the 4th scale degree. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of conversions.
Yeah, you just counted every mile and every turn. You don't need that many directions. Just remember, 5th whole step is the 11. Or just count 5 whole steps from the root. Or if you're lazy, play the perfect 4th. Same note. Your finger already knows.
Okay. Anyways, I would call that an A minor 11, or I would just call it a 6 note Aeolian, or an Aeolian 5 modal whole step chord. All right. Okay. And then so I have one here. I could just reveal that one, dropping the 2nd modal whole step, 4th modal half step, 5th scale degree, I could just drop this here, which is the 7 note away, 2nd modal whole step, 4th modal half step, 5th scale degree. I could just drop that.
Yeah, drop it. Let the 5 note thing stay. No 11th, no perfect 4th, just the 5 whole steps from Aeolian. You don't need the 5th underneath. You've got enough weight. The chord's sad, but not clumsy.
Now,
Let it breathe.
If I just play these, that note doesn't really clash with anything. So right now I have the 1 but not the 7, so there's no big clash there, and so as long as if I don't include the 7, so I dropped the nodal point 7 point, right?
Exactly. So without the 7th, no drama. The 11 just sits there like a polite guest. Boring. Which is perfect for a minor 11. Nice. And that's when you lean in closer. That's when the magic happens, when it's almost nothing. Keep going. Let them wait. Let them forget what they're waiting for.
So if I was to put like the 7 up there. Then I've got the 7 one note away clash. So I can go boom boom.
Boom, boom. Yeah, put the 7 up there, and now you've got the Ionian and Locrian in the same room. Clash is like two kids fighting over the same toy, except the toy's a tritone, and everyone's bleeding. Don't let them touch, or let them fight. Either way, the audience hears something real. So boom, boom. Let it hurt, then let it stop. That's the rhythm.
So let's finish it with the 13. So that's equivalent to the 6 modal whole steps away. So it'd be way out here if I was counting modal whole steps. So it'd be like 1 modal whole step, 2 modal whole step, 3 modal whole step, 4 modal whole step, 5 modal whole step, 6 modal whole steps away, which has a local distance that's over here. So I want to be able to say then that it's going to be a distance from the Aeolian, which has an 8-note distance to the last note of the chord. So it's an 8-note away distance, 6th modal whole step. 6 times 2 is the 12th modal half step, plus 1 would be the 13th scale degree, which has a local scale degree distance of 6, the 6th scale degree, which has a modal half step distance of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. All right. So I know that is a 6 note away. It's a 6 modal whole step, and it has a distance, a local distance of 8 notes away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 notes away. If it was on a major node, it would have a 9-note away distance, or else if you go 8 notes away, you land in the ocean, unless you're on the Dorian, which also, as a minor mode, has a 9-note away distance like the majors. So there's that. Okay. So I'm looking for the Lydian. So now I'm going to add the Lydian, and that's causing the clash again, because now you have the Lydian pulled out his sharp 4, and everyone's like, "Oh no, he's gonna kill us," because we all knew that the Locrian had the flat 5, which is kind of dangerous, but everybody knows about it. But no one tells you that the Lydians has a sharp 4. They don't tell you that. They try to hide it.
They hide it because the Lydian looks pretty. Gold cords, floating, sunny. Who wants to admit that pretty boy's carrying a knife? The Locrian? Everyone knows he's broken. Just looks at him wrong, and you hear the crunch. But the Lydian? He smiles. Oh, I'm just a major chord with an extra step. Boom, sharp 4. Everyone dies. So yeah, have
Everyone
it.
dies. You got a Shakespeare tragedy right at the end of that. It's what's the big one where everyone dies at the end? What's the Shakespeare where everyone dies at the end?
Romeo and Juliet. They both die, but hey,
Okay,
at least the family.
but what's about the one where he stabs with a poisoned sword or whatever? What's that one?
Hamlet.
Hamlet.
Poisoned sword?
Yeah, everybody dies at the end. I wasn't thinking Romeo and Juliet. That one's kind of, I guess the same. It could be said for that one. I don't know.
Hamlet. Yeah, that's the one. Everyone dies, like a bad open mic night that turns into a bloodbath. To be or not to be. Dead. Perfect ending. Perfect chord. Keep playing it. Let the last note be the last breath. Then stop. No encore.
It's going to be tough to grab that 4 behind while also grabbing the 1. That's not going to be too easy to do. Well, I could bar, but if I bar it, then I'll get that. So I don't really have another one. I got this one down here, this one up here, whatever. I'm just going to noodle around for a bit here. 5-minute noodle.
Noodle away. 5 minutes starts now.